I think we are the ones that have made it easy for contractors,
Yes.
and they're coming in and actually ripping off our businesses. And why should we pay for the rent, the fit out, the marketing to get those clients to have a contractor come in and pay us 10%? Don't undersell yourself and don't undersell your business to someone that's walking in with a suitcase and giving you 10% of their daily income and not having any outgoings.
That's the problem with the industry overall, is most of them don't like numbers, and we don't want to sit down and play the numbers game because one, it takes too much effort, and two, they don't know sort of where to even begin to understand what those numbers mean.
I don't think I've actually had that many big business mistakes, but that was a really significant one. And the reason I don't tend to have too many big business mistakes is because I've always stayed within my lane and realized from very early on that this is my niche and this is where I need to stick with.
Hello and welcome everyone. It's great to be back. I'm Jodie Fielden and I'm here with my work wife, bestie and business partner, Adri Varga. During these podcasts, we share how you can leverage your passion into profit, whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a seasoned salon owner, or someone who's just thinking about starting out. You're in the right place because we've just about done it all, and we're here to share with you that you can too, because it's time to believe your salon or clinic can be everything you ever wanted. Today is a very special episode. It's special for me because we get to sit down with someone I've admired and trusted for almost 15 years. It's my very own skin therapist and a longtime friend, Sarah Hudson. Sarah is someone that's very well known in the industry here in Australia. She's a highly respected aesthetic practitioner, and she's got over 25 years experience in the skin health and aesthetic therapies. Sarah is very focused on skin health overall.
And also what I love about this episode is that we are not just talking about business tips, but we are diving deep into what it really takes to hold your ground, trust your vision, and also stop making decisions from fear. Sarah has built an exceptional brand that stayed true to its values. And we are going to unpack exactly how she done that and what she learned along the way.
Like over the years, when I've been laying there on a treatment table in her room, we'd talk about business dreams, mindset wobbles, and the big vision. You know, back then when I first met Sarah, we were both kind of navigating the early days of learning how to grow a business and how to find something that really was in alignment with who we are and what we believed, and not just profitable, but you know, something that we could be passionate about. What I've seen from Sarah's brand and her clinic has grown to be, you know, so admired and trusted throughout the beauty industry. It's inspiring to say the least. So I couldn't be more thrilled to share this conversation with all of you. Let's talk about top 3 best decisions, and then we'll have a look at, actually, no, let's start with our top 3 mistakes, because I want to end it on the best decisions, not the downers.
Okay.
So let's talk about your top 3.
Just to give you as well a little bit of background, once I transitioned into sharing with the doctor, then I saw a really big growth with the skin and the devices. I then moved premises again. So I actually stopped sharing with him and then opened my own clinic, which is what you see today, and all still in Beecroft, and changed all of the branding and really focused on the skin, but very heavily with laser technology, skin needling, and also LED lights. And the biggest business mistake that I've made is that within that, after 15 years, reintroduced a beauty therapist and beauty treatments to concentrate on facials. So I came away from my niche, which was skin and also devices. And that was the biggest it had the biggest financial impact on the business that I'd ever seen, because what it did was, by coming away from who we were as a brand brand and also our niche, then we started getting all of this beauty again. So then we were getting people phoning up, oh, do you do eyebrow waxes? Do you do leg waxes? Or you do facials? So you do facials, but so you're not focusing on skin anymore. And so we only introduced it for about 3 months, but it did about 6 months worth of damage. And it took away from all of the technology because people saw us as this lovely go-to beauty salon. And I had to then rebuild our credibility and our education. So coming back to talking about focusing on your niche and staying with your niche by introducing services that aren't your branding, that has been my biggest business mistake.
What led you, so because you've been so sort of steadfast in it, what was it that made you have the decision, I'll introduce that back?
I thought that we were successful in the devices. Some of our devices have downtime. So I wanted to introduce a service that was lovely and pampering and, a nice to have. But in that nice to have, you also have to drop your ticket price as well, because people are not going to pay $450 for a facial. So the facial treatments were under $300. What originally I thought was, they would have a facial in between some of the aesthetic services. But what it did is it stopped people from having aesthetic services and then having facial treatments, which we know we can't get the same results with facials as what you can with laser genesis, for example. And so it totally confused our target market. And I thought that it would bring additional income into the business, because I was like, this is another service that we can offer. It's not hard to train on. I have a beauty therapist. She doesn't need the same level of education that she would with device technology, but it just wasn't worth coming away from who we were as a brand and also our niche. And it made us look like a lovely beauty business.
Yes. Instead
of like skin health and aesthetic skin health, because that's our focus, is aesthetic skin health. So I guess, and Jodie and you and I have spoken about this, is it doesn't matter what you do, whether it's hair, it's makeup, it's even if you are beauty, don't come away from what your niche is.
Yep. And look, we did that as well with us, like we went outside of our niche when we started going with Pilates studios, and we still help them. And our private clients, we still have, not niche private clients, but they're private, so that's different. But as far as like our marketing and client attraction, we just had to come back to being true to our niche and staying in our lane and not worrying about what everyone else is doing. And not worrying about, like, maybe there's something over there, which Adriana's really good at, stopping me chasing a bright light. I'm like a budgie. I'm like the next bright sparkly bell.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually had that many big business mistakes, but that was a really significant one. And the reason I don't tend to have too many big business mistakes is because I don't tend to chase other. I've always stayed within my lane and realized from very early on that this is my niche and this is where I need to stick with, which includes the second business mistake was wanting to bring injectables into the business. So every business now has some form of injectables. We started with a doctor. Didn't last very long. She made mistakes. She left us with the mistakes. We tried nurses. And again, I didn't tie myself into anything like contractually. I'd only trialed them. So I didn't take them on for a period of time. So it was just as a trial. And within that trial time, they had told my clients that they don't need to see me. They had injected so much into their skin that they didn't want to then have skin treatments. They didn't want to buy skincare. So my other big business mistake was actually bringing doctors and nurses in to do injectables within my business. And again, that's coming away from our niche. So Skin by Sarah Hudson is about creating beautiful skin without the need for injectables. And so I get contacted all the time about people wanting to come in and do injectables. Of course they do. Our clinic is beautiful, but what are they actually giving me? I had this conversation, I actually had this conversation yesterday. She said, well, I have heaps of clients and like, I have my own clients. I don't need your clients to build my business. And I think that's another really big mistake that businesses make is contracting out to other people, because you have a lot of different levels. So first of all, there's vicarious liability. So you have to be insured to bring other people into your business. Do they have the same branding? Are they ripping you off in the background? Because that was really big for me. They were taking cash money, not declaring what they were making, and telling my clients, oh, you don't need to go and see Sarah. And you do not know what's actually happening within that room. And so now I don't have any nurses. We do have a doctor who's a plastic surgeon, not a GP, and he comes into the clinic every 3 months, but it's a combination of his clientele and my clientele. We work together. I recommend him as a plastic surgeon. He recommends me as a skin clinician. So we have this lovely relationship together. But other than that, I would never have another person come into my business.
And I totally agree with that, because it is very difficult to create a culture with people who are actually doing and minding their own business. It's very, very difficult. And many salon owners struggles with it. And especially in America, we coach lots of clients in America. They have, boot renters and everything. And they just cannot hold a culture together, because the people, freelancers, boot renters, they just want something, but they don't want to give back anything. So that's unfortunately what happens. Yeah.
I think we are the ones that have made it easy for contractors,
Yes.
and they're coming in and actually ripping off our businesses. And why should we pay the rent, the fit out, the marketing to get those clients to have a contractor come in and pay us 10%? So even if the contractors take between 3,000 and 5,000 per day, and you're generally getting 10% of that business, that's only between $300 and $500 for maybe one day a week or a month. I could do 3 LED lights for that.
Yes.
So I think that one of the things in talking about branding and niche, don't undersell yourself and don't undersell your business to someone that's walking in with a suitcase and giving you 10% of their daily income and not having any outgoings.
And look, that's what when we work with businesses, especially over in America, because it is such, like, it's a blanket thing in the industry over there. They've realized that it doesn't work. So that's when they come to us to try and untangle it for them. And unfortunately, Australia is starting to step into that area, because they can't manage their own business. They've got too much space, or they've overcommitted. So they're panicking to just bring people in and try and fill seats and get some rental income. But they actually don't even do a feasibility where they step back and see how much time and how much income that space can generate if they make it work properly.
Exactly.
Like you said, that $300 or $500 for the day that they're there, when it could be like $5 or $6 grand. It's just the math doesn't math, and that's the problem with the industry overall. Is most of them don't like numbers, and we don't want to sit down and play the numbers game, because one, it takes too much effort, and two, they don't know sort of where to even begin to understand what those numbers mean. So,
the other thing on top of that is the insurance. You have to be so careful with your insurance in making sure that they are insured correctly, and also you are insured to recommend their services. So it's not only what their daily takings are, it's also what your insurances are as well that you have to consider.
Yeah. And even, most people don't even start thinking about how to insure themselves about someone else working from within their business. They just think, oh, well, they've got professional indemnity or whatever, I'm fine. No, you're not fine.
Yep, that's it. And also, like, make sure you cite and see their certificates as well. Is it just a blanket, you know, small biz insurance certificate, or are they properly insured?
We'll jump into best decisions.
The best decision I made within the business is definitely the rebrand, which we did 8 years ago. So that was moving from one location around the corner to the other, which is what you see the business today. So that's the beautiful Prussian blue, the gold, and that is seen throughout the clinic, and that really marries together with the look of the business, the education behind the business, the team of the business. And I feel that from a branding point of view, what you see when you look at our business is exactly what we are. But that was a very significant fit out and also loan that took me 5 years to pay off. And I don't think you should underestimate what a really good fit out can do for a business, and the way that it actually makes you look. So that would actually be my first big change, big investment, and something that I obviously did really, really well. And then the second is all of the different technologies and devices. So we have multiple technologies. So as I said, I have the Cutera laser genesis, Limelight, and also an individual pigment spot treatment called Accutip. We have a couple of LEDs. We have mesoskin therapy, which is a hydration infusion treatment. We also have a couple of needling devices, and I've had two investments in skin firming technology, and then another laser on top of that. So really every 1 to 2 years, I'm investing in new technologies, and that has been really important for our business because we have changed and grown as a business as the client's needs have. So I think for hair, beauty, or clinics, investing significantly every couple of years is really, really key because it shows your speciality. It shows that you're willing to reinvest within your business as well. And it means that you can change your services.
Like 100%. And the thing that if people get fearful about making that investment, but if they make a smart investment and they map out, what we do with our clients is go, okay, what's the machine you want to get? What services is it going to provide? How many how can we back that number up with your pricing and make sure your pricing is covering everything, including the investment in the machine, and also still be banking for your next investment on top of that as well. You need to plan for those future investments. And then once we map that out, we know, yes, this machine is going to be great for the business, or you know what, it's not the right time for that machine because I don't have the other things that complementary to it to transition. So you need to be strategic. And I love that you're always at the forefront of whatever's going on in the industry. I call Sarah whenever something's going on with harvest.
Yeah.
Sarah's just mentioning some new machines that I didn't know she had. It's been a little while. So I'm like, okay, I need to come down for the pigmentation Q-tip. I'm already ticking off on my own fingers what I want to come and have done with Sarah. One thing that when you were talking about your brand and how beautiful it is, Sarah sent us a beautiful gift yesterday to thank us for having her. And we're like, we need to be sending you the gift. So one, client journey, how you look after your clients, how you represent yourself in a giving way. Goes a long way. But two, when we opened up Sarah's gift, we took a video of Adri and I opening our gift together. And as we unwrapped it, you'll see that the box is this stunning box, and then opening up and the beautiful gold paper and the handwritten note, and just as well as the products that we were both going nuts about. Even the packaging and just the whole experience of opening the gift from Sarah, or whenever I get my product sent up to me, it's still the same experience. It's not just like in an old bag and sent up. It's always a beautiful experience opening it. And it's a beautiful experience stepping into Sarah's clinic. It is just from the beautiful herringbone floors, the herringbone, I think I made. Yeah. To just the feel of like, it's just makes me feel so special every time I walk in there. And you don't have to, like, you can create that same feeling for a client without having to spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's just about the care and the thought and the little things, and that real client journey that Sarah was talking about before, from the moment someone thinks about they needing you to when they walk out the door with their home protocol, they've got their next appointment booked in, they've got, you know, a plan mapped out for an outcome, you know, like each one of Sarah's clients are working towards a goal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's very few people that are coming in just to come in. Everyone they're after an outcome.
That's exactly right. I think that is exactly the same for hair, makeup, and skin. Everyone wants an outcome, and finding out what that outcome is really important. And also, don't underestimate, for you, you've been a client for over 15 years. You may not come once a month, but you trust me enough to come back when you need to. And that's really, really key.
No one has touched my skin since I first started coming to you.
That's so lovely. And I have that a lot, where people may not come back for 5 years because things have changed. They've had babies, or maybe their careers changed, or maybe they didn't need it, or maybe they didn't want it. But I think building up that trust factor is really important. And one of my very early business building tools was writing a handwritten card when we opened, to every single client, to say, thank you for coming into my business. I really appreciate your business. And at nighttime, I used to go home and write all of these cards, and I would put little samples in them and send them to them. And don't underestimate what individual postal mail means to people, because people don't use the post anymore.
Exactly.
So people get really excited when they receive something in the post.
Oh, we got really excited when Jodie told me, like, come to my place. I have something to share with you. And I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous.
I want to actually share my third positive aspect within the business. And this was something that I did really early on when we transitioned in 2010 away from beauty into more aesthetics. I also changed my skincare line as well. So I had a beauty skincare line that was sold on the internet. It was discounted on the internet. They were selling it everywhere and discounting it everywhere. And my clients were saying to me, give me the program, thank you so much, but I'm actually going up to Macquarie to actually buy it because I can get it for 30% cheaper. And I refused to discount the products in the clinic to those same prices. And I thought, what is this company doing for me? They're not doing anything. In fact, they're hindering my business, and then they're blaming it on me for not keeping those clients. And so I worked with a skincare company that allowed me to, with their label, to actually bring out my own skincare range, which was great in those days. So it was only sold by me and in my clinic, and also on my website as well. And that was a really big, significant change, because I could prescribe a great product with ingredients that I knew about to my clients, and they couldn't buy it anywhere else. And that led me on about a 10-year journey, but I didn't have full IP to that particular skincare line. So, and I always wanted my own skincare line. And then back in 2000, I wanted to formulate my own skincare range. So I went in search of a really good cosmetic chemist. It took me Actually, it started earlier than that. It took me 3 years to find the cosmetic chemist that I wanted, and 3 years for someone to understand exactly what the skincare was that I wanted to achieve. Because the biggest letdown I had in formulating the skincare was that the first question that everybody asked me was, how was I going to market it? My background is a skin clinician and also results marketing. I don't know anything about marketing. I just know about results. And so he really understood that I wanted a skincare range that would bring change to the skin. And so we worked on that for nearly 2 years. And I've had the skincare range in the clinic since that time. So since 2021, I launched the skincare range, always with the fact that I wanted to see what the results were, see what the skin changes were with the skin, and then I would take it to market in 2026. So that was my other biggest significant investment. And that's the skincare that you actually have today. And what I'm really proud of, because I know the ingredients in there, I know the formulation, I know that it works, I know that it brings amazing skin change. And that's the next journey of the business.
And then I just wanted to show how beautiful the branding is. So it reflects the color, everything. And I've got this little beautiful oil over here too. What I absolutely love about this, I can see the little quotes on the top, yeah, D and R, and it has all meanings. And then at the back, you have the little QR code. So if you scan it, it takes you to our information page and you will know how to use the product. And it just feels absolutely beautiful. So I tried last night.
Oh, thank
And
you.
it felt absolutely beautiful. So I'm very, very grateful for
That also highlights the client journey in product, because product has a client journey as well. There's an experience about it all. And just the fact, especially with those products, I'm not squinting trying to see this tiny writing on there. I'm in the glasses now.
You are 100% right. Every product was designed from feedback from clients. In fact, the deep cleanser was designed because myself and one of my clients love daily exfoliation. So, but it has these, everything has a multiple use and everything can be layered. And the one complaint that women have is I cannot read the products in the bathroom. So that is why every product is like D for deep cleanser or R for the oil. And we have people that come in, they don't know the names of the products. They just come in and say, I need R today, or I need E, or I need A, because that is how the consumers know what their skincare is. They don't know the fancy names to it. And you are right. So the reason I put the QR code on the back is because nobody can read the writing on the back of a product. And so you scan over it and it takes you straight to the website on exactly how to use it. And then the lids, if you've got them in a drawer, you can pull out your drawer and see exactly what it is that you need. So
Absolutely. It's just so easy and so structured and organized. And yeah, it's just a delight, really. When I scanned the QR code, I was like, oh my God, this is so smart.
so nice, because I didn't even go through that experience with you because I just had sent them to you.
Yeah.
So it's lovely to hear that feedback.
Should we just get into the next step for you when you are thinking about to taking your brand to the next level?
So the next level of the skincare line is to become private label. So to change the packaging, that is actually a really big step. There's a lot of compliance around that now that has actually changed from when I first did the formulation. But what I would really love to do is create the line so other brands that have that similar philosophy of the skin and want their own brand can put their label on it and put it in their clinic as if they had actually done it. And the reason that I want to do that is because I think there are a lot of business owners out there that get frustrated with losing skincare sales or product sales to the internet and also to other businesses, where when you have your own skincare line, people are just coming back to you. And I wouldn't be where I am today had I not had my own skincare line, basically right from the beginning. it has built the business. It's stopped people going elsewhere. It's given me a form of education to my clients and to my customers as well. And it's also then linked through the branding with my focus, which is actually the skin. And so I wanted as a business to be able to give others the opportunity that maybe wanted to create their own skincare line, don't know where to start, don't have the money because it's hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. And you also, it's not just about the product, it's about the packaging and it's also about the marketing. So for me, I can take that away and have a base product line that they can actually put their label on and then sell as their own. And I'm really excited to be able to take that to other businesses.
I think this is actually an amazing idea because we speak with so many beauty salon owners and even hair salon owners who are thinking about, bringing in their own labels or their own product. But once they start to look into it, the cost and the learning, failing, and finding the right people. And as you mentioned, it's lengthy. It's not a 6 months journey. It's years and years. And with you opening up this opportunity for people who are actually knowing your brand and giving them the opportunity, here it is, you can take on, you can skip the beginning, the messy, the muddy, the really not fun, the annoying part, and just start with the branding, start with the color, start with the name. And that's, I think it's absolutely amazing.
And also, I think the market is really flooded. So I needed to make sure that I could do something different and then probably and give back in a different way to the industry as well. And I think there's something very important about actually having your own brand that you actually put your name behind. And it really helps with the branding structure, which is a lot of what we've spoken about today. Your niche and then also your branding as well, because it creates that overflow of branding within your business.
So you mentioned that this is all in work right now. You are just finalizing all the bits and pieces. So when is going to be ready for other salon owners?
Definitely not till mid 2026. So I am putting into process all the things that you guys talk about in business and also podcasts, with making sure that I have all of the correct steps in place, because just like any business, you just can't go into it. You've got to make sure that there's that research, that development, that time behind it. And I've never done anything in a hurry, and I think that's actually served me well. And this one I definitely won't, because this is my next baby that's actually coming through. And the other thing I wanted to say as well on coming back to skincare is one of the frustrations I found when I first started looking at skincare was there are a lot of private label businesses out there, but the skincare is the ingredients are very minimalistic with minimalistic results. So I think if you're going to put your name behind something, you want something that works. And that was what I wanted to create within the clinic, a skincare product that worked, that I was putting my name behind, and that someone else would be just as proud to put their name behind.
And that brings another challenge, isn't it? Because it's much more easier to basically go with the average. And if you want to take it to another level, it's another ball of game again, isn't it? Because you need to find the right people, the right resources, the right everything. Exactly. And that's again research.
Yep. and that's why it takes time. And like I said, when I transitioned from being multi-service beauty into aesthetic skin, it was 12 months.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And I think it's important to give it that time.
So that's next for you in your skin line and skin life. Is there anything else what you think it would be useful for our clients for this episode? Because I'm 100% sure we're going to invite you back because you have word of knowledge what our clients
I'm already checking the calendar.
Yeah, absolutely would love to hear, and we can get into, like the your own product range and labeling and everything. That's as you mentioned before, it's another ball game. But is there anything else what you think as a business owner and niching done and mistakes and everything? Is there anything else what you can think of you would like to share?
I think there are two things that I really wanted to say was that for those of your listeners that don't join your business building, it's really important to join a business mentorship because you can't do it alone. And a lot of us, whether we're hair, makeup, or skin, we leave school, we learn our trade, and then we perfect our craft. And then we think that we can open a business with no business background. And you really can't do that. You really need to have a good business mentor and someone that can actually take that or someone that can help you grow, I should say, in that structure. And that is my number one piece of advice is don't do it alone without a really good business mentor, because not only will you grow more significantly, but you'll feel more energized to grow. And there's then someone to talk to who has that same business background as well. And my other piece of advice is don't rush into things too quickly. You have to sit and you have to work through that process before you actually go to the next stage. And I think that's really important. And a lot of people say to me, oh, like when are you like when's your next product coming out, or when are you doing this? Well, it takes time.
Yeah, that's true. Like there is no magic wand.
There's not.
There's no special pill. Same as like if you want to lose weight, there's no special pill. Like business is exactly the same. You have to be strict. You have to follow a formula. You have to be dedicated. It has to be a priority. Like all these different things. And I was sitting here as you were saying all that. I'm like, God, I could have written that for Sarah. Bang on, everything she's saying is like, yes, from your mouth to their ears.
And I think we need to remember that business is an investment, and is not just financial investment, is actually time investment, mental investment. You give up a couple of birthdays, you give up a couple of Christmases, you give up holidays. And many times in the beginning, you take far, far less out from the business than the people who you are paying. And you're paying your mentor or mentors. Sometimes you have multiple mentors. And then you're paying your team, you're paying the product companies and everything else. And at the end of the day, you are just investing and investing and investing. And as you mentioned, it should not be a lonely journey. So
No.
you have help out there, and it's much more easier to when you have someone to bounce back on, brainstorm, and also when you don't have to figure it out on your own because someone else already did it for you.
That's exactly right. And even down to the policy and procedure manuals, like having a policy and procedure manual and outsourcing that. So in the skin industry, I work with someone called Tara Shaw who does fabulous policy and procedure manuals. Don't spend the time that it takes when you can actually pay someone else to do a very significant job that would end up costing you more money.
Yes,
Don't
absolutely.
need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, exactly. And the same with what you both provide is that you have to that has to be part of your ticket item. Like, and that's why discounting is so wrong. Because if you discount, then how do you then keep investing in all of those different things?
Absolutely. And then discounting is like a frequency. So with the discount offers, you are actually attracting the discount mindset. So then you cannot really grow your business to the part what I call, the cherry on the top of the cake, because the cherry on the top of the cake, they're never going to look for discounts. So then your market is not going to match, and then your communication is not going to be right. And it goes back exactly the same place, that you cannot be everything for everyone because you become nothing for no one. And that's so true, and this is when staying true to your niche is extremely important.
And we do offer, so we'll run a promotion where you might buy 5 and get 1 free, or you might buy 3 products and get 1 free, but we're not doing it all the time. So I'll do it very special. And I looked back on some of my launches as I was preparing for this. And when we did a new device launch, if you bought 4, you got 2 free. So I try and make sure when we do offer, I don't even like to say specials, but when we do offer that clinic, it's really significant.
Your pricing should support your promotions, because that's the thing. Many times people are putting 3 or 4 or 5 together, and then you have only 5% profit on it. So how are you going to give 2 for free and they pay only for 3 when you're already not profitable enough to do that?
Exactly.
So thank you very much, Sarah, for all the wealth of informations, and we definitely going to reach out to you for the future. And out there for our audience, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. And if you have any questions to Sarah, we are going to pass those questions to Sarah, and we're going to make sure that we're going to follow up everything for you.
Yeah. And it might be nice, we can even do, if we get like some significant questions, we can get back on a podcast and then answer all of those questions as well. So happy to do that.
Oh, that's amazing. That would be really great. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.